Hello, folks. So today I'm going to talk about the Clements. This was recommended to me by Life is Overrated, and I briefly looked into their situation. They have a few videos on YouTube, and basically it's this couple. The husband has some kind of genetic defect, and they are planning on having a child. They did have a child, um, and they knew ahead of time that there was a 50-50 risk that the child will be born with a genetic mishap. And of course, it happened. So I could only watch just a little bit of it because it pissed me off just to hear them say that they knew there was a 50-50 chance, yet they took it anyway. I could only make it past that part, and I just turned it off because I was just so fucking pissed. Like, god damn it. You know, what can you possibly say to that? I mean, breeders, we know natalists are going to have babies regardless of whatever the situation entails for the child, whatever shitty end of the stick is going to be in the child's future. They just don't care. And seeing that clip, seeing that video of them so gleefully proud that they are going to bring in another child to experience this defect and live their entire life with it, um, it just really cements my position that they just want to create more suffering. These people don't care about suffering. They don't care about lessening suffering by stopping, procreation. They're on the opposite spectrum. I believe these people are sadists in some kind of way. Uh, Either they know it or it's subconscious, but I really do believe that breeders genuinely want their children to suffer. That's the only conclusion I can come up with, because when you bring up antinatalism to these people and you show them all the things that can happen in life and that do happen in life regarding children, their first initial thing is to just dismiss it. They don't care about the circumstances. They don't care about the quality of life that they are going to impose upon their children. Uh, and it's even crazier when people do have defects like that knowingly have children to pass off the burden. And I think a lot of that also is probably because they want somebody else to suffer the same horrible fate that they had to suffer. It seems like a kind of vindictiveness. Oh, I had to deal with this, so now I'm going to make my child deal with it. It's just very evil. It's disgusting and it's evil to watch. And the Clements are just one case. There was another video that another antinatalist shared, and it was about this woman who she had a severe defect. I don't know what her problem was, but it definitely showed itself. She had a very deformed appearance, and apparently she had a child. Her daughter was equally deformed, and she made a kind of a snap video where she said that the haters, i.e., the people, the doctors who told her that she shouldn't have a child because the child will have the same defect as her, she wanted to disprove the doctors, and she had a baby. And according to her, the way she looks at it, this is to spite the haters, i.e., the doctors who warned her about the fate of the child. So she pretty much just had a baby just to show that she could. And of course, now the baby has the same birth defect that she has and will have to live her life with that same problem. The epitome of selfishness, cruelty, and sadism with these people is outstanding. It knows no bounds. It really does know no bounds. They don't care if they knew their child would have cancer. They would do it anyway. Gleefully, happily. They would clap and smile and say this is just a wonderful thing ever, the best thing that ever happened to them. And they'll celebrate it. they'll celebrate it as if it's something miraculous that happened, that they get to have children who are born with these diseases and genetic defects. And honestly, um, it just further proves my point about the quality, the character of these people. And I really do believe that if I had my way, I'd probably have them all sterilized. Honestly, I would. If I could, I'd probably have them sterilized because there is no justification for doing that. There just is no justification. You can call me a eugenicist all you like. It doesn't matter. There is something to be said about trying to prevent malformed people from coming into life and having to live as a consequence of their selfish parents. So yes, I would proudly support eugenics. I would proudly support trying to stop people from being born into the world who have severe defects. And in general, I support this toward the whole human race. Okay, not just people who have genetic defects. I think that the whole entire human race needs to just stop because this process is gruesome. It's cruel, it's gruesome, and it comes from a place of absolute selfishness. No child asked to be born. No child wanted to be placed into life with these kind of conditions. And the fact that people can just bring children into the world and live like this without any repercussions to themselves is sickening. There should be punishment for this kind of thing. There should be legal punishment for this because it is intentionally cruel. It is very cruel to do something like that, to know that you have a 50% chance of your child inheriting a bad genetic defect that's going to affect them for their whole life. Not just a few years, which is also bad, but their whole life. And you have the audacity, these people, to clap and to praise their pregnancies as if it's something wonderful, that they just get to pass off this extra burden onto a child. I mean, God damn it, it's bad enough you have to be born on this planet where you have to work every single day just to make a living, just to eat, and you have to pay bills and you have to survive. Now on top of that stress, you have to live with a genetic defect that your selfish ass parents gave you because they're too goddamn stupid to figure out they shouldn't impose that kind of fate on their child. It's just really fucked up. This whole situation with humanity, it's just completely fucked. I have no hope for people. For the vast majority of humanity, I think that this species is just too fucking stupid to change course. And I will continue to propagate antinatalism for the few individuals, thankfully, who do hear our message and who will commit to not continuing the chain of suffering and death needlessly. But overall, I mean, there's just no hope for the human species. I mean, these people are too lost. They're too far gone with this fucking delusional mindset that every life is a gift no matter what. You could be born with 50 different defects and your life is just as miraculous and wonderful as whatever. You know, it just pisses me off so bad. It pisses me off so bad. It pisses me off because I can't do anything about it beyond try to promote against it. And it also pisses me off that the parents don't have enough integrity to see what they are doing is wrong. It's like they don't have the mental capacity to understand what they're doing is evil. And it's getting to the point where I just don't think these people have that quality. They just don't have the ability to think these things through and come to the right conclusion that they shouldn't be procreating under any circumstances, especially if you have a defect and you know it. It makes zero sense to me. So, I mean, it's just another case in like hundreds of cases that have happened like that throughout history. of people having horrible genetics and they just pass on that horrible shit to their children and don't care. Such is to life with these people. Natalists, they're going to just be what they are. They are no different than wild animals who breed in heat. They're really no different. Show me an animal out in the wild that breeds just because it can, and show me a natalist. There is no difference. The same urge applies. It's animalistic instinct. And they haven't figured out how to get past that yet. They haven't figured out how to use their intellect, if they have any, to circumvent that and not enforce death and suffering. So these people to me are on the same level as wild animals in terms of how they think and how they process. Because they don't care about the suffering that they impose into the world. They don't care about the consequences of their actions. They are literally like beasts. Some people taking to call them NPCs, like non-playable characters in video games, and I agree. Automatons. They walk around and do what the society says they need to do. They procreate. They believe in voting. It's just so goddamn stupid. It's just too stupid. And every day I see something like that, it just decreases my hope, if I even had any, in humanity. Because they just keep doing stupid shit like this. So, yeah, that's my rant on that situation. Really fucking pathetic.